Welcome to the Work in Progress podcast, where we keep our whip in check. And now, here's Michelle, certified coach and founder of Strive Coaching Studio.
Hi, and welcome to the Work in Progress podcast, episode number 51. This is called Going All In, betting all your chips on you. Welcome to the podcast, my friends. Today, I'm talking in depth about a topic that I've been circling around with so many people lately. It's basically the premise of this podcast, so you know I already love it, and you're going to love it too. The topic is the value of your asset. Yes, I am intentionally stressing the value of your asset because that's exactly what I mean. Now, to be clear, first and foremost, I want to clarify something I say often already. Value and worth are two very different things. Okay? We're born with certain skills, gifts, mindset, minds, abilities, and superpowers. We all have them. They're unique from everyone else's because they were just part of how we were born, just like the color of our eyes, our skin, our hair. We don't get to take credit for them. We were just given them by having been born into the world, and we had no control over them. So we're each worthy, unique, and valuable in that way. And we all have everything we need already built within us to go and create from there. So nothing can or will change that for the better or worse. Our worth or our worthiness in terms of value is absolutely not what we are talking about today. You already have that. We all already have that and everything we need, okay? Today, we're talking about building value in the one thing that can return more value back to you as a result. Whenever we can invest something and gain more back, we've made a wise investment, right? When we're investing wisely, we're building assets. Assets continue to maintain and build value for as long as we have them. Now, since I was a little kid, I found myself finding ways to create business for myself, learn everything I could, and I can tell you that I have always believed 100% that I would be able to figure things out and be able to not just take care of myself, but create the future that I wanted. And I was always willing to evaluate the time and money of the investment versus the payoff for myself, not just for the short term, but for the long term that I could see, was capable of seeing too. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't make mistakes. I of course did, but I was always asking the question, how can I learn what I need to know that will gain me as much as I can back? How can I invest this time or this money in myself right now to return even more in the long run, in the big picture? How will this make it easier for me long term? How will this make this easier in my life or in my company or in the way I operate for the long term? How can it pay me back? So whatever it was, I was always looking at the gain that was available to decide whether I thought it was worth it. Just constantly weighing, is this investment going to be worth it? Now, taking classes on programs that would help me to do better at my job or a task, doing that more simply or easily. Starting a new company meant me learning all kinds of things I had never done before. So what do I need to learn, and how can I put this to work for myself to make my life easier, to make this more simple? Joining a board or a group through my local association or the chamber to learn and to grow, taking classes from there, pursuing certifications and educational advancements along the way to better myself. I've been doing that since I was a teenager, but in particular, while growing my career in my initial positions that I held that ended up really being my long-term career. Could be taking the lead role in heading up a group at a work or a charity project or a book club. Right? My philosophy has always been to invest to create the most valuable asset that I can. And that asset is me. And that asset for you is you. Now, over time, after building myself as an asset, learning, growing, failing, and succeeding, right? I later built a company that held many assets. Now, the assets of my building company included many things that had value, like homes under construction with materials, right? Lots and land under contract that had value, either owned or under contract. Floor plans that were intellectual property that we had designed and built ourselves. Our systems and processes, the software that we had not only purchased, but built and created and made it highly functional for us. All of these things were assets in the company. So investing in the assets of the company were what allowed the company to make a profit each month and each year. Without the investment of the asset, there would be no ability to generate revenue or profits. So in addition, there was also a value in the people talent aspect and the culture. These were considered assets as well. And when we got to the point of selling our company, it was important to us that we found a company that assigned value to those assets as well, since these things and people assets are tremendously valuable to companies that want to be successful. We wanted that investment to be protected and seen as valuable too, because it was. We invested in the team. We invested in each individual on our team with both our time and our money, and then any other resources that we could invest in them. Now, they had also invested in themselves on their own, and they were valuable to the team as part of the company and as individual assets standing on their own. They individually had value based on their knowledge, their skill sets, the wisdom they had created over the years, the experiences they brought with them prior and within the company. And any company purchasing that asset that we were selling would hold that people asset in high regard as well. They don't want to lose that value of what that brings. So the value of the company is significantly affected by the talent asset. And this means, this is the point of all of this for you, is that as an individual in the company, you add value to the company and you get to impact how much value that is for the company and for yourself. So investing in yourself, your learning, your growth, your skill sets, your experiences, all add to your value. Now, most people don't see it this way or from this perspective. And from what I've gathered, one of the reasons is that people don't want to take on all the responsibility that comes with the pressure of their financial futures. They don't want that to be all on their shoulders. So many people defer that responsibility. They relegate that responsibility outside of them to the performance of a 401k for their retirement, or the stock market, or cryptocurrency, or they just wait for their company to promote them to the next level, to decide when they are ready to get to the next level. Now, in each of these cases, they don't take control of what they can control. They actually give the control, they relinquish the power and the responsibility away to other people and other things outside of them. They trust a stockbroker to make decisions about and for their money. They trust and wait for their companies to decide and determine what they can and when they can make more money. And they do that to stay safer and reduce their risk of failure, to not put themselves out there. It feels far more comfortable to be disappointed if your crypto stock crashes and you lose money than to fail the exam for the first time for a certification that you decide to finally pursue, or a class you're taking at a local college. It feels more comfortable to be mad at a company for having a stock price crash due to a bad CEO than it does to feel bad about making mistakes while you're pursuing a promotion at work amongst your peers, right? It's true that you don't have to wear the blame quite as much this way, but what else don't you get? You don't get control of your own decisions and what you get to learn from the failing that would come from those mistakes. And the biggest thing you don't get, the biggest thing, the most important thing, is the sweet, crazy, insane, celebratory pride of knowing that despite mistakes, despite the failures, in spite of the problems along the way, that you achieved what you wanted in your life and you accomplished that thing, that goal, that financial mountain you were climbing. There's nothing better than that feeling. Nothing. And we rob ourselves of that so often, all because we'd rather not feel disappointed with ourselves over the potential of making a mistake. And when this happens, it's because they're not ready. They're not choosing and deciding to believe in themselves enough to take that control and responsibility onto themselves. Now, from my youngest age, I've never wanted to willingly hand over the reins for someone else to determine things that I've had the ability to control myself. Now, listen, I am not saying that 401ks are not wise or that investing in bonds or stocks are not a good idea. And I'm definitely not saying don't trust your company, your employer, or your boss. I'm not saying that. That is not the point of this. Here's what I am saying, that no matter what, first and foremost, I will invest my chips in me first and what I can do and what I can control first before anyone or anything else. I will always have skin in the game when it comes to my future, my plans, my goals, as much skin as I can. Right? That's what I'm saying. I was talking with a good friend of mine the other day. She's a very successful corporate leader. And she and I were discussing how it's her philosophy to always give feedback to her employees who want to grow that guides them to what they most need to improve. She's never been afraid to let them know what skills they're lacking that are going to prevent them from getting to the next level. And she also lets them know where they can go to find ways to improve on them, whether that be joining groups, taking classes, finding a mentor, getting training, coaching, whatever it may be for them. This is what I love about her. And you know this is my philosophy if you've been listening to me. Here's the thing. Many companies are very generous. They have budgets in place to train and develop people. I tell them they should be doing this all the time. And they definitely know that there's tremendous value in doing so. It breeds so much loyalty from their high quality people when these investments are made in them. I am the first to say, invest in your people, build your teams, create this loyalty surrounding all of this. But here's the point. Here's what you need to hear from me. It's not up to them to invest in you. It's up to you to invest in you. And the one who benefits from the investment the most is you. The asset being built is your asset. Wherever you go in this world, you get to take you with you. You get to take your asset with you. So what does that mean exactly? Well, like I said above, it starts first with deciding to believe in yourself enough to take the responsibility of your future and financial well-being and your future goals and plans. The second thing is, from as early as you can in your career, invest in you in every way you can. Get as much skin in the game as you can. Put as many of your chips on the table, all in. Every single time. When you get a win, now's the best time to bet your chips all in again and again and again. Put them back in every time. Yes, it will cost you money. Go find it. You are worth it. It is not a waste. It is the best thing you can do with every penny you can scrape up. Yes, it will take your time. And guess what? It will be outside of your work time. It's really okay. The best way to create the real, empowered work-life balance that you will benefit from for the rest of your life is to learn something new and build your talents and skill sets outside of work hours. I promise you this. Don't get caught in the trap of thinking that this is not aligned with your priorities. Evaluate your priorities for your life, not today's and not tomorrow's, 10 years from now. Think about it. Powerfully for the rest of your life, no matter what you do. And when you do, others will notice. Stay focused on the big picture. Third, operate from the place of making yourself as valuable as you can through your experiences, your failures, and your successes in the journey. This wisdom will carry with you for life. Fourth, have a mentor and be a mentor to someone else. Mentorship is the best way to reflect how much you value learning and growing. And mentoring others reflects your willingness to grow and teach others too, allowing you to be a master of your superpowers. Fifth, bring it every day. Talk about it. Master your responsibilities. Ask to take on more. Ask for that promotion. Show and bring your value and your growth, your new skill sets each and every day. And lastly, no matter what, take full responsibility for the decisions you make for your future. Bet all your chips. Bet on yourself. And when you doubt, when you want to hold back, ask great questions of yourself as to why. What's causing you to feel that way right now if you're wanting to hold back? When we ran the home building company, we had to re-up our bets every single year to bet all our chips. If the bottom had fallen out, all of our chips would be gone from the table, in the hands of the banks and the trades. We would have had nothing left. We signed on loans personally each and every year, and if they had fallen short, we would have lost everything we had personally. Everything. Our homes, our cars, everything we owned. Gone. You probably think that's crazy. Many people do. Here's the difference. We did it for one reason. There's one reason we did this. That reason was because we trusted ourselves. We knew that if anyone was going to make the best, smartest, strategic, resourceful decisions for our futures, it was going to be us. We would not leave our financial futures, no matter how good or bad the market, in the hands of someone else to decide and determine. We trusted ourselves implicitly. We knew that our ability to protect ourselves financially for our own best interest would always, every single time, be better for us than someone else doing so for their own best interests. That's why we were willing to put all our chips back in after every win, every single time, year after year, to build an incredibly successful company. Listen, guys, there are many secrets to success, and I talk about them for myself and with my guests all the time. And they're amazing, great advice, such good ways to create success for yourself, but none of them matter one bit if you are not willing to bet on yourself. If you're not willing to be the one who is responsible for your best interests every single day. If you don't believe in your ability to make the best decisions for you, there are no secrets to success that anyone here or anywhere can ever teach you. Because guess what? It's your job and your job alone to create the most value you can be, the most valuable you can be for your company. If you want to maximize how much you get paid, how much you're needed, what position they need you to fulfill, how much responsibility you have, how much you get to lead the path for the future of your organization, how much they entrust you with your decisions for work-life balance and your ability to make those decisions for yourself. It's on you and you alone to create that for yourself. If you have your sights set on a future plan you have for yourself, it's not just your responsibility to do it. It is 100% in your control and power to do it, not anyone else's. We are born with the gifts we were given. After that, we need to decide how we will use them. We can't take credit for having what we have within us, but when we create experiences for ourselves, when we try and fail at things, when we succeed at things we choose to pursue, when we build our own value through the learning and the journey, we get to take all the credit for that. We get to keep that and take it with us until the day we are done on this earth. That package is one that nobody else can have. And that is what is valuable. That is the valuable asset that you've built. So what are you going to do with it? How much and for how long will you enjoy the returns and the gains on those investments? How much longer will you wait to bet all your chips on yourself? When are you going to finally go all in on yourself? What are you doing to build your asset today? And how will you continue to do that for the future? Whatever you choose, in whatever way that makes sense for you, don't relegate the responsibility of building your value and your asset to someone or something else. It's time for you to take full control and responsibility for your own value. I will never stop learning. I will never stop growing. No matter what I choose to do in this and future chapters of my life, I get to take my own asset with me. That is the most liberating, freeing, powerful feeling I could have to create my future. Now go bet on you. Your company needs you. Your family needs you. You need you to do this to create the life you most want for yourself. I challenge you to look at this year ahead and be willing to place your bets. If this is what you needed to hear today, your mind is really going to be blown by what we do inside our leadership community. So I hope you will come check out striveleadershipdevelopment.com. Come to see what we're doing this month and for the rest of the year. Learn from someone who has done it, who has created an incredible life, and who will keep working every day to lead myself and others through more huge new challenges of learning and growing to create exactly what I want in my life. And you can too. I hope I will get to meet you soon. That's what I have today. I will see you next time.
Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast and social media outlets to keep your whip in check.